Hey there, how are we today, Libra? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. This one is going to be for Monday, August 11th through Thursday, August 14th. I'll be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings and get you through your weekend. That's kind of the whole deal, I think. Yeah. We're just going to pull cards, see what Spirit wants to talk about. This one right here is for my Libras. One more, then we're on it. Okay, here we go. Okay, for my Libras. Libra. Alrighty. Let's see what you get. We're starting this off with the Queen of Swords, followed by the Hermit, and then I've got the Two of Cups. So this is your backstory or your recent past. Currently, I'm looking at the Ace of Swords, the Three of Cups, and Judgment. In the near future, I've got the Ten of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck for this reading is the Ace of Wands. So the undercurrent to this entire reading has something to do with newfound inspiration or passion towards a situation where it had obviously died out. For some of you, it's just new inspiration and passion towards life in general, but for others, it's more centered on one thing. At any rate, that is the undercurrent here. The card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it's going to play into the equation, is the Three of Cups. We're going to have to see how it plays in. I'm not sure if we're speaking of a reason to celebrate or if this has something to do with a third energy being involved in a situation where there should only be two, but we're going to figure it out as we go, okay? All right, let's start from the recent past and go through here. Okay, so recent past, we've got the Queen of Swords and the Hermit, and then the challenge here is the Two of Cups. Queen of Swords, you're real comfortable there, okay? You're an air sign. It's all about swords, so, you know. Queen of Swords, you are very defensive right now, very defensive, sword drawn. You just want people to be honest with you. If they're not, you give them one shot, they don't tell you the truth, you cut their head off. That's how it goes. Very defensive, okay? Definitely going in with somewhat of a negative connotation towards the whole situation with everybody and everything right now. Okay, I'm sure it's unfortunately hard earned. I'm sure there's been something that's happened to cause that, but at any rate, you're in the Queen of Swords. You're also in Hermit mode. Here again, this is telling me something has transpired here that has got you, deeply upset and wounded to some extent. Hermit mode means you've pulled your energy back out of a situation. In this case, I feel like you've pulled your energy back out of just about everything right now, to try to reassess everything and try to see where everybody's at. Understand what players are where on this field, and how you're going to move forward from here. So you're kind of in a watch and see sort of state. Pulled all your energy back, and it's like you're sitting up in a bubble watching the world go by right now because you don't feel safe enough to be in it right this minute. Okay, all right, the challenge here is the Two of Cups. So obviously there was a partnership or union that has caused the bulk anyways of this issue. It's possible that it was multiple unions, meaning a work relationship and then a regular relationship and then a friendship, whatever. Just a lot of things that did not pan out to go the way that you wanted them to, and places where you now feel threatened or unsafe to be because you don't feel like it's safe for you to have emotion or whatever in these situations. You don't feel like you can trust the situations or the people. Okay, now this is your recent past, so in reality this has already happened. So we can't change it, is what I would normally say. I get the feeling, though, that the after effects of this are definitely still going on right now in the current, okay? All right, so where are we at currently? Currently, I've got you with the Ace of Swords, the Three of Cups, and Judgment. Judgment's in the challenge position. Ace of Swords, this is the sword of truth. This is what you're focused on. This is what you want. Now, I'm going to throw this out there just for a second. Libra, you're not always known as being the most truthful person in the zodiac, you know what I'm saying? So make sure if you're requiring honesty, you have to give honesty, right? Kind of, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, but you're looking for truthfulness is what you're looking for, okay? Three of Cups right here. I do feel like this is possibly a situation where there was a friendship, let's say, and there was two of you and you got along swimmingly, and a third person showed up and that threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. It's very hard to split things three ways. It just, somebody ends up left out in the cold, and obviously that is the position you feel you ended up in. Judgment is in the challenge position. So this makes me feel like you called judgment on the situation. That's fine. That's done. But for you, it's not. You just keep calling judgment on the same situation or something. I know you're hurt. I get it. But At some point, you have to let bygones be bygones and move forward, and that seems to be the part you're really struggling with right now. And I'm not saying that's not valid, because it very well might be, but I can tell you you're not moving forward until you can manage to set this down, right? Let it go. Okay, that's where you're at currently. Where are we going in the near future? Now we've got the Ten of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and then the Ten of Pentacles is actually the challenge. The Ten of Wands is a heavy burden. It falls out in line with the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Swords, you're looking for the truth, and then the Ten of Wands. So it's become very burdensome for you to constantly run around not trusting anybody and requiring everybody to tell you the truth because you got your sword drawn and you're going to cut off their head. You've taken this to an extreme that has made your life kind of miserable. So you've got to find balance is the whole issue here. There just has to be a sense of balance. I'm not saying you can't be mad at somebody for lying to you, but it's finding that sense of balance. The next card over is the Two of Pentacles, which is telling me there is no sense of balance right now. You're trying, but it's just not happening, and it's not happening because you are coming from a strictly mental standpoint. You're not balancing it out with any emotion. You're definitely not balancing it out with any trust or with any forgiveness, kind of. Yeah? Anyways, forgiveness not just for them, but for you too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to forgive yourself for misjudging the situation. I don't know. Ten of Pentacles being the challenge here, your money is tied up somehow in this situation, and your money has grown very stagnant. And the reason is because you can't let everything flow because you have no balance. So this all comes down to you having to reconcile these things that have happened, no matter how bad they were, and figure out, I mean, if it's so bad you don't ever want to see the person again, then cut that person out of your life and move forward. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you have to find forgiveness and a way to deal with this because it is really tearing you apart, definitely hurting your money, okay? And then we have this Ace of Wands here, which is like newfound inspiration, but the flip side of that can just be a lot of anger. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what we're dealing with here. A lot of anger. Behind that, I have the Seven of Swords because there's been a total breakdown in trust. And the Seven of Cups over people that had options and didn't choose you is how you feel. I don't know that that's valid either. It doesn't sound like a very grounded thing to say, but I think that is how you are viewing it. Like people had choices and what they chose was not you. And that is just intensifying the situation. That's how you see it. Okay, let's see what else we get real quick. This just really comes down to you having to find a sense of peace and forgiveness for the people involved with whatever happened here. Okay? All right, let me see. What do we got? They wanted that card anyway, so we'll go with it. I got the Six of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the King of Cups. The Six of Cups, you have a ton of history with these people. You do. It is what it is, right? I mean, so if it means enough to you, then you're going to have to learn to forgive them. Otherwise, you're going to have to cut them out. You're trying to look towards your future with the Three of Wands. And with the King of Cups, you're going to have to loosen the grip that you've got on the emotions surrounding you and your own personal emotions. Because right now, you got them in a chokehold. You're not letting them out at all. And there's never going to be a sense of balance that way. Okay? All right, let's see what we got. For Monday, you've got the Four of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So Monday, you're dealing with some sort of higher level soulmate that you, at one time at least, were totally invested in, right? Tuesday, I have the Four of Cups and the Chariot. Tuesday, you are admitting to yourself that you are totally dissatisfied with the way this situation is playing out, and with the Chariot, you're trying to just exit, it looks like. Wednesday, I have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Something you once felt was your Ten of Cups, your emotional fulfillment or the road to that is what is causing you all this conflict right now. And Thursday, I've got the Five of Wands now and Justice. Five of Wands being more conflict, but this conflict is more about conflict inside of you, okay, and a sense of competition. Justice is somehow saying that all this is justice. I don't know exactly how that plays out. I'm not sure if this is something, if you're getting justice for things that you did in your life prior, I don't know, 6 months ago, 6 years ago, I don't know. The scales do have to be balanced out at some point, so that's a possibility. If not, then it's telling you justice will be served and the scales will be balanced out going forward. Okay? But none of that's going to do you any good unless you can find this sense of forgiveness and figure out how to let all this animosity and anger go because it's tearing you apart right now. All right, Libra, that is what I have for you this week. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. I will be back on Wednesday with bonus readings. If anybody's looking for a private reading, just send me a message. I'll get you the details. I'll never reach out to you first. If somebody does, that's not me. It's a scam, so treat it accordingly, okay? All right, y'all. Thank you.